Hello guys, and welcome to a nice quick video from Oscar Cooper. I hope you're all well. Review of Strange Brigade. I wanted to say some stuff about it because I grabbed it 3 or 4 days ago and I've been playing it non-stop. It's quite addictive. It's from the guys that did Sniper Elite Rebellion, and it does a few things right, this game, and if you've never heard of it, have a look at this quick clip. So it's essentially Indiana Jones meets The Mummy meets Left 4 Dead, shall we say? Left 4 Dead 2, let's say, the better Left 4 Dead. And I mentioned that game because I really miss that Horde genre. I really miss that multiplayer, crazy, zombie apocalypse, overrun style, you know, loads of enemies on screen, really cool ballistics and gunplay. And I found it here with this game. It is actually very good. Performance-wise, we don't get a PS4 Pro-centric performance option, but we do get HDR on it, so that's a welcome addition. I think what they've done with this game is that they've made sure that the frame rate's locked. Actually, there is an option to unlock the frame rate, so forgive me. Yeah, it runs smoothly considering what's going on screen. As you can see, it's a very busy game and there's a lot of stuff happening all the time, and it keeps up with it. The performance is very good. Gameplay wise, it's quite detailed. You've got an option of 4 characters. Each character comes with a start out weapon. Some of them have shotguns, some of them have got machine guns, and each gun has a rune slot in it. Some of the better guns have 2 or 3 rune slots, and you find these as you go along. Now, I don't think you can swap them in and out on the fly. Like on the fly, I think you have to go back to or go to a weapons bench to actually do this. But it's nice to be able to perk a weapon up. There's also quite a lot of varied enemies, and that's really important for me for a game like this. Is I don't want to just be shooting the same shit all the time. I want to have, you know, enemies that come in, that spawn in, that cause me to think and having to deal with the problem. There's also a massive emphasis on environmental traps and really cool, like, spiked logs swinging, and when you aim the gun, things will appear in red that are of interest, i.e. that can blow up or that can be moved around or cause traps to occur. And this is really cool. It's really awesome to sort of herd them all into one area and kill everyone with a single shot to a trap. Now, you probably have also heard that it's a puzzler. Now, it doesn't rest on its laurels with the puzzling. What I mean by that is the game doesn't solely depend on really difficult puzzles for progression and stuff. Like, the puzzles are there, they're easy enough, they don't disrupt the gunplay. I bought this game for the gunplay, and I also bought this game for, you know, the multiplayer, which we'll have a look at in a second. But I wanted to play the campaign through on my own. I wanted to see, is this worth a purchase if you're not into multiplayer, if you just want to, you know, shoot some mummified zombies, and yes, the answer is yes. It's cool, it's really cool. The campaign's really detailed. There's an awesome Terry Tibbs style narrator who's really genuinely funny. The game's got a whole sort of 1940s 50s explorer genre, and the characters are really funny. There's some great one-liners, and the story's quite cool as well. It's all around about this pharaoh queen thing, and it doesn't skimp on that area. Visually, I also wanted to talk about the architecture in the game and sort of what it offers you on a level front in regards to variation. This is a level that's sort of underground forest, and I loved that switch and change from, you know, some of the outside areas, and there's also some really claustrophobic temple style areas, and look at it, you know, it's running well for a game that is an over-the-shoulder third-person shooter. They haven't skimped on the visuals, and making this Egyptian North African temple vibe really hit home. It's awesome, and look how cool the traps are as well. That's exactly what I wanted. I wanted those old school booby trap style stuff, and I found it here. There's also quite a good draw distance as well on a lot of the temples. It's big. Some of the areas are really big, and I was expecting some sort of screen tearing or some lag or stuff like that, but I didn't see any of it. So I'm really impressed with the performance of this game. The fact that, you know, it's got HDR and a frame rate option is pretty cool. Now, let's look at the multiplayer, because that's obviously where all the fun is going to be had with this game, and there is loads of fun to be had with it. So I jumped into that after sort of getting my head around how the game works. I joined with some randoms, and it just times the fun by a lot more, because you can get behind people, someone can have a shotgun on, there is snipers in the game as well, some of the enemies will be up on perches, etc. So I was really impressed with the multiplayer. It's awesome.
Well solved, Strange Brigade.
Performance-wise on the multiplayer, I was also thinking that it's going to struggle. You know, it's going to have some problems because of the amount of moving enemies on screen. But it doesn't. It's fine. The things got really friggin' hectic when I was playing this particular level, and it coped with it fine. It's obviously made with multiplayer in mind, and even the narrator talks about everyone in plural, even when you're playing it on one player. So I think if you're looking to get this, you should consider going to the multiplayer mode on it. And the bosses, I need to mention them as well.
Now you'll face the chosen champion of Seteki.
Darwin spectacles! What massive miscreation is this monstrosity? Have our heroes met their match?
Yeah, they come at the end of the level. They're based on Egyptian lore, and they are pretty damn awesome. They take, you know, a lot of coordination. They have various phases. They're quite deep actually. It's great, and there's also mini bosses and mid-level bosses as well. And I think that's an awesome area to have when there's 4 of you, to sort of break up the Horde Mode area of the gameplay itself with a nice, cool, awesome boss. I do need to mention there is a Horde Mode as well, and I haven't tested it, and that was the first thing I thought about it when I brought this game. Is, oh my god, I wonder if it's just got a Horde Mode on it. The answer is yes, and yes, you can do it in single player, and yes, you can do it in multiplayer. And also the Horde Mode, there's a score attack mode as well in addition. So there's 3 main game modes: campaign, horde, and score attack, which is great. It's nice to have, you know, some options. But just as a closing comment, the campaign's really good in single player. It's an awesome multiplayer game, and it's great to have a sort of Left 4 Dead tribute set in an Egyptian, you know, crazy, necromantic, awesome Indiana Jones universe. So if you like what you see here, guys, go and get it. And of course, I will see you down there. I'm getting Spider-Man tomorrow. I'm getting it early, and I've hit a delay on my new four player couch co-op video because some of my mates have had to put the date back because I genuinely want 4 of us in the room to test all these games out. So that will be happening this week. I'll get the edit done and get it out soon. So yeah, as always, guys, see you down there. Take care.